I mean, it's very easy. Ultimately, what it comes down to is about the ninth repeat in the history of the NFL. I mean, how did I correctly predict Super Bowl 54? How did I fade the 49ers? How did I fade Steve Young, Miami, BYU, Andy Reid, BYU? How did I fade San Francisco? Well, this is what it came down to during the last Super Bowl meeting was that the Chiefs won their ninth straight game against the Niners to win Super Bowl 54. And in the matchup, the number nine is going to come into play again. Andy Reid is a nine life path. We're going to see the ninth repeat in the history of the NFL against the Niners. It's all revolving around Andy Reid. Retirement, what have you. We don't know yet if he's going to retire, although if I was Andy Reid, I would retire because it would make him look good if the Chiefs don't make it to the AFC title game every single year and they fail to win the Super Bowl. So if I were Andy Reid, I would leave after this year. I would win the Super Bowl, retire, make Andy Reid look good, make himself look good because he doesn't have to be a part of future playoff losses against AFC competition. But really, when you think about the 9-3P against the Niners, Andy Reid won the Chiefs' ninth straight game to win the Super Bowl title the last time around. And ultimately, no way Taylor Swift is going to lose. Uh, Even before the AFC Championship game was played, the networks were already talking about Patrick Mahomes chasing uh, Tom Brady, which I thought was absurd because he didn't win his third ring yet. He didn't even beat Baltimore yet. Like this was before the AFC title game, but uh, first take, what have you, we're already talking about the narrative of Mahomes chasing Tom Brady, and they knew something. They 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 know the narratives in advance what they're going to talk about it. They have the follow up conversation after the game. So that's how I approach. I shared you the Stephen A. clip about talking about Mahomes, Reid chasing Belichick, or who's going to chase who better? Is Reid going to chase Belichick, or is like Mahomes going to chase Brady? But they were talking about that on the first day. But I mean, $300 million in free advertising. Just the Chiefs gave the NFL lots of market share, over female sports. I Let's see, from Fortune.com. Did I read that correctly? Did I read that correctly? That women they said that women viewership was up 9% from last year. Did I read that correctly? This was the article on Taylor Swift generating the $300 million in free advertise free advertising to NFL. I think I remembered they said women viewership was up 9% from last year. So that's another number nine. We go to 410 here and show you the quote. 300 million free advertising, NFL up to date from last year, women's viewership. I remember it being 9%. Oh, you have to subscribe to it, whatever. Well, anyway, I will be sure to take a screenshot uh, when I get to that point. Well, I think I made some posts on Facebook. Let me see if I've saved it. I have to go to account activity. I forgot how to go to there anyways. Let me just type it on Google, see if it comes up. 9% women viewership NFL. Okay, there's the article on Yahoo. So just another news site reporting the same thing. Study claims that viewership among women has risen 9% year over year, while viewership among men increased by 6%. So this came out on February the 5th. You know that they're talking about the Taylor Swift effect. So this is what they reported on Yahoo right there. 9%. Nines connects Taylor Swift and Kansas City because it's about that ninth repeat. Again, Tom Brady won his first nine playoff games to win the last repeat of the NFL. You're right, 1-9. It's like the first nine games is the 19. And Patrick Mahomes' first championship occurred during the 2019 NFL season. So, of course, for his first championship during the 19 season, he's got to win that repeat 19 years later. That's the whole meaning about his first championship in the year 19, the season in 19, the playoffs in year 20. Well, it's not even on paper the Niners are better. The Chiefs haven't given up over 400 yards in a single game. They've played the better quarterbacks. Obviously, the AFC is the better conference. And it doesn't have to be rigged for the Chiefs to win. And in my view, I think when I saw the Niners play, it's like their defense was Swiss cheese getting exposed like Steve Wilkes is a joke, and they're pretty lucky a line receivers drop the passes. So it's not going to be an issue to make Patrick Mahomes look good because that was Swiss cheese last week, and they got pretty lucky that the Lions receivers dropped the passes. You have to admit that it was part of the script to drop the passes. But anyway, drop passes are not. Niners defense was exposed. And these were not elite teams at all. You barely had any playoff experience on the Lions and the Packers, and yet they barely beat these teams at home. All they beat was Jordan Love and Jared Goff. The Chiefs beat Josh Allen and Lamar Jackson. Their defense has faced off against much better quarterbacks. The AFC is strong. That's why we won't see the Chiefs in the Super Bowl for the next 4 or 5 years. I can guarantee that. Uh, you're Barry Switzer, what have you? You're you're George Seifert's. The Niner dynasty wasn't all with Bill Walsh. It wasn't all with Jimmy Johnson. So I could see a different coach coming in and winning some Super Bowls with Patrick Mahomes because it's certainly been done in the past before. I think all four Steeler championships were won with Chuck, though, if I'm not mistaken. I have to go back and check. But the four Super Bowls were not that far off from each other. So we've seen like where team dynasties they win with a different coach. So I kind of see the Barry Switzer, George Seifert route with Andy Reid retiring and maybe going through a period of the NFL giving Jim Harbaugh the championship they owed him because it was all rigged with Kyle Williams taking the NFC Championship game. Like you're supposed to drop the punt, and he did. He allowed the Giants Patriots rematch to happen. There are some questionable ball spots in the Niners Seahawks NFC Championship, and in the Super Bowl, Super Bowl was obviously scripted. The blackout game, it was scripted. With the blackout game, uh, yeah, there's a little bit of holding there on the last play. That's what Jim Fiba was crying about. But Joe Montana's number, Len Dawson's death, the repeat, the 32 wins, the worst decision, the history of the NFL, passing on Tom Brady. It's a skull ritual. It's a skull ritual against Alabama. It's a skull ritual against the 49ers because they should have signed Tom Brady. It was the easiest decision ever. They're going to regret not signing Tom Brady because they still don't have a quarterback. This was the easiest one-year rental in the history of the league. They completely blew it. It could have been the 49ers in Super Bowl 55 instead. You think you're a lot, Kyle Shanahan. It was lined up for you to win Super Bowl 55. It was lined up. It was lined up for Kyle Shanahan. It was lined up. But he fucked up. It's another fuck up. It's the Kyle Shanahan legacy that he leaves behind. It's the Taylor Swift show. Taylor Swift wins. I won't pay attention too much about the money until the actual day of the Super Bowl because most of the bets are placed on the day of the game. So you'll get your maggots, going with the 49ers, all of that. You'll get your Chiefs haters out there going with Kansas City. So most of the action is on the actual day of the game. After what happened with the Ravens last week, I'm sure the Chiefs are a good way to make back money if you lost on the Ravens last week. So it's the make back some money. But all these little rich Sims from California, all these rich people from California are going to go bet lots of money and lose on the 49ers. I mean, you can't ask for any better outcome. It's in close proximity to Las Vegas. Las Vegas going to murder the 49er fans. Well, what I can say about Bill Vinovich is that he is an accountant outside of working the NFL games. Accountants go match of 31, and Mahomes can improve to 3-1 the Super Bowl. So Bill Vinovich is an accountant. He's the referee. He's also the same referee who officiated uh, the pass interference game at New Orleans between the Rams and the Saints. People claim that Bill Vinovich he allowed too many holding calls. It's a much better story to see Taylor Swift up there kissing Travis Kelce with the Lombardi Trophy. This is what's going to sell the merchandise. They're going to make lots of money on the young girls after the game. That's what the NFL is going to do right there. And they're throwing it right in front of your face. Joe Montana, number 19, has 39 playoff touchdowns. Last repeat, Super Bowl 39. Kansas City Chiefs win. Montana's number 19. The next repeat happens 19 years later. Brock Purdy's number 13 because the Niners go 1-3 in the Super Bowl ever since Joe Montana left. Freemasons are big on number 13. Now that's the 13 connection to San Francisco. It's the 1-3 Super Bowl record without GOAT Joe Montana with the 49ers. Remember, he idolized a loser, Dan Marino. He's with the Dolphins. The first game for the Chiefs was against the Dolphins. Joe Montana's last game was against the Dolphins in the wildcard round, and the Chiefs faced off against the Dolphins in the wildcard round this year. Same matchup in the wildcard round, 1994. It's all connected to Joe Montana. Well, you're a 49er fan because you're going to say that, but your team fucked up. You could have had Patrick Mahomes at number 3. You could have drafted the same players. Yep, it's a colossal fuck up. It is. There's no way around it. There was a way to come back from Patrick Mahomes, and his name is Thomas Edward Patrick Brady. I know the Tom Brady skull ritual is going to play out as it will. I went Dawson Super Bowl 4, fourth title. Andy Reid, 319. Birthday. Third Super Bowl for the next repeat 19 years later. It's all on Andy Reid. It's easy. This is the easiest game to predict ever. This is easy game to predict. Easy. Joe Montana played for both teams, number 19. It's right in front of you. Super Bowl 39 was the last repeat. 39 playoff touchdowns with the 49ers. That's how we connect his 49ers playoff stats with the last NFL repeat. Next Tom Brady. Brock Purdy ain't no Tom Brady. It's a 7th round psyop. That's what that is. Patrick Mahomes is the next Tom Brady. He's the guy that's going to be closest to Tom Brady. You got the wrong quarterback. Could have dropped the top, but could have. The drafting Tom Brady's irrelevant. You could have had Patrick Mahomes. You could have signed Tom Brady. What is wrong with your coach? Your mediocre quarterback is not Tom Brady. I don't remember players dropping Tom Brady's interceptions in 2001 and 2002. That's a mediocre quarterback. How many? He should have had 4 interceptions so far in the postseason. But I picked the Niners the last couple of weeks because it's rigged for them to play in the Super Bowl because the best storylines for these two teams this year. It's Vegas. You need the teams with all the galore. Lions and Ravens, they don't have galore. They don't have that flash. It's the Chiefs and the Niners. That's why it was easy last week. Again, Travis Kelce, the GOAT wide receiver in the postseason. He's surpassing Jerry Rice. I think the next record, after breaking the touchdown record or the catch record, he's going to have the most playoff games catching a touchdown pass. And he'll have 15 games with a touchdown pass. Again, Patrick Mahomes, number 15. His 15th playoff win for his first repeat. He has taken the torch. Brock Purdy will never, ever win a Super Bowl. I know a GOAT when I see one. I did not pick Jalen Hurts last year. I did not pick Jimmy Garoppolo to beat Patrick Mahomes. Patrick Mahomes is that guy. 43 touchdowns, Las Vegas. He's the GOAT. Patrick Mahomes, baby GOAT, baby GOAT. Exactly. The future money's on the 49ers. There's 2 components. There's futures and there's game. You will level and even up. If the public were to lose every week, people not bet on sports. So Vegas can't win every week. Public can't win every week. You got to even it out. Okay, the public lost big on the Ravens. Their own polls had over 70% going with the Ravens. So everybody bet on the Ravens because it went from plus 150 to plus 180. So this means that the odds were adjusted because too much money at the same current odds was thrown on the way of the Baltimore Ravens. So the fact is, everybody was wrong on the Ravens and the Niners. They already made their money. Now they'll get you the chance to recuperate some of which you have lost on the Ravens and the Bills when the people thought the Bills were beating the Chiefs. The Super Bowl is what I call make back what you lost, but the real figure, the real betting trend will not be fully revealed till Sunday because most of the bets will be placed just right before the game, the Saturday and Sunday period. Again, if the Chiefs are the underdog, you're going to place the smart money on the Chiefs. You're going to get the money on the Chiefs before they adjust the odds accordingly. So early smart money was on Kansas City because they're the underdog. You're not going to place the bet on the 49ers until their odds get adjusted. Like if they're, I don't know what the opening point spread was, but 2 points for Niners, it'll go down to 1 point favorite. So you get them at better odds. And the Niners were the favorite. Because this is Patrick Mahomes. He is Joe Cool. He is the comeback kid. He has already came back from halftime in one Super Bowl and came back in the fourth quarter. He literally is Joe Montana. We'll be talking about this for centuries. He just does everything wrong, Kyle Shanahan. He should have had Tom Brady. What in the world was he thinking? I don't know what the hell you people are talking about. Kansas City is still a 2-point underdog. I don't know what you people are talking about. Can't even get the facts right. I mean, it's rigged both ways. Say you have to say Kansas is a great team, but I mean, yeah, Super Bowl was rigged for Kansas City last year in Super Bowl 54, but in the same way that his two Super Bowls are rigged, the Chiefs Super Bowl loss was rigged against the Buccaneers. The Chiefs took a dive in that game. The Chiefs took a dive against the Bengals when Andy Reid went for it on the fourth down. They had the scripted comeback for Joe Cool number two. So the rigging goes both ways for Kansas City Chiefs. They take a dive when the NFL wants them to, and the NFL decides when they want to win. So the rigging both and against the Chiefs, it goes both ways. But yeah, here we are. Here we are. Patrick Mahomes wins the Super Bowl. We are going to begin the dynasty talk. Is he going to catch Tom Brady? He's going to be 4 Super Bowls behind Tom Brady. That's the big Len Dawson number we have talked about before. It's all intertwined with Joe Montana. He went 60-7 in the playoffs. Andy Reid's going to be 60-7 in the playoffs with Kansas City. The number 16 is Joe Montana's number. It's also Len Dawson's number. It's a connection to both guys. Brock Purdy's a fraud. He is a fraud. He is as much of a fraud as Colin Kaepernick was. He was fraudulent in every single way. They thought it was the next great thing, but Kaepernick was just a fraud. He was not a passer. The NFL just wanted the brothers Super Bowl. Kaepernick was a fraud. Brock Purdy's the same way. He is fraudulent, and when he loses this year, his Super Bowl window is over. All it takes is one injury of Christian McCaffrey, and the Niners are back to being a mediocre football team. Just watch, because it's already happened, and they already got their ass kicked by the Baltimore Ravens. AFC is better than the NFC. That's what it comes down to. And it's all about the number 9 with Taylor Swift. Again, Taylor and her number 13. Taylor and her 13-hour flight. That's the 13 we be talking about. They go 1-3 ever since Joe Montana left the team. They go 1-3 in the Super Bowl. 24th playoff loss, 24th win. 24 is the big Joe Montana number because Joe Montana won his repeat in Super Bowl 24. Montana won one, Tom Brady won one, Patrick Mahomes has the winner. This team does not know anything about selecting quarterbacks. It's just an epic failure. They built a great team. Everything was done right except for the quarterback position. And Brock Purdy a big contract. Team has collapsed. This is the year to do it before that rookie contract is going to end, and he's going to get a big deal, and the Niners get old, and they get washed up because next year is the Lions. The Lions are winning the NFC next year. The Lions are going to make it to New Orleans. Jared Goff is going to make it back to New Orleans. Jared Goff, where he won the NFC Championship game to make it to the Super Bowl, is going to make it back to another Super Bowl at New Orleans. And next year is the Lions. Next year it's Lamar Jackson. The Cowboys will never win a Super Bowl when Jerry Jones is living. This team is just reality TV show characters. This team is a joke. They're a joke every single year. The Dallas Cowboys will not win. Dak Prescott is just a psyop. This is what he is he's a psyop. He's born at Louisiana, but he's a psyop. He'll never, ever be that guy. The Lions will beat the Cowboys next year if they face off in the playoffs. They'll beat Dallas. They'll smoke Dallas. They will not. They're not even guaranteed to make the playoffs because they have a lame duck coach. Jerry does not want to pay for two coaches. It's already lame duck. It's already over. It won't be room for Jerry Jones anytime soon. The Cowboys are the Al Davis Raiders. Imagine if they had a crap quarterback. That's where they would be. He'll get up, they'll get stronger. That's the city of Detroit. They're gonna make it next year. Right after the game ends, I will publish the Lamar Jackson, another Lamar Jackson Super Bowl video. Remember, Jackson's Gematria 19. Jackson's the big number. Jackson Gematria 19, it's not just Saints, but it could just be that he's going to be the next champion after the next repeat 19 years later. This is how I look at Lamar Jackson in his Gematria of 39. He's going to win the next championship at the Stadium of the Saints. John Harbaugh be the next coach to win more than one Super Bowl. He's going to be that guy. Yeah, I'm not into phrases that much, but Mahomes repeat is Gematria 58. Just because all the money's on the Chiefs, it doesn't mean that they're going to lose. Some weeks Vegas wins, some weeks the public does. Which side are you using? Yeah, I know Wikipedia says the 23, and I don't wonder why. And remember, the Chiefs invoking LeBron James. The crowning of the king, the Chiefs, the symbolism there with Goat King LeBron James. I like that 13th playoff loss for the 49ers ever since their last championship. That's the 13 and Taylor Swift we have been breaking down. They don't count the All America Football Conference championship loss at the Browns. So they have 23 playoff losses in the NFL. And this be their 24th playoff loss in the NFL. The All America Football Conference was a conference that challenged the established NFL from 1946, 1949. But the 49ers have 23 NFL playoff losses. It's not the public that doesn't want Taylor Swift to win. It's the maggots. It's the Donald Trump lunatics that don't want to see Taylor Swift win. It's only the right wing lunatics that they're all butt hurt that they're showing Taylor Swift for 30 seconds. It's like, grow up, you fucking moron. Grow up. Young girls across the country are rooting for Taylor Swift to win. Daddy will just have to pull for his daughter to win the Super Bowl. Right wing they're gonna blow up after the game, the right wing. Yeah, it's a freaking regular season game, but yeah, Clippers as a number one seed. The Clippers are not winning anything this year. Now remember, NFL hates the Raiders. Why are the 49ers practicing at UNLV? The 49ers. Why are they practicing at UNLV? The 49ers. Why is that? UNLV's 15, Patrick Mahomes' 15th playoff win. His 15th playoff win. This team passed on this guy. Steve Young will still be the last quarterback to win a championship for the 49ers. Well, Holmes going to be 15-3 in the playoffs. And the Super Bowl is exactly 8 months after Joe Montana's birthday. Steve Young is number 8. Well, these things are all decided because the Chiefs are the home team, so the Chiefs practice at the Raiders facility. So for example, if the Super Bowl were held at Arizona, the NFC practices at the Cardinals facilities, and then the AFC would practice over at the ASU's facilities. So that thing is decided by home field. Whoever hosts the Super Bowl, like next year, the Lions will be at the Saints facilities. The Ravens will probably be at some college nearby, or they'll be at some college next year. I get the feeling if Kyle wants to win the Super Bowl, he better go to some other team. He still doesn't have a quarterback. They're not in the AFC. That's the only thing that's going good for the 49ers. What's bad for them is that the Lions are a young team, the Packers are a young team, the Niners are getting older and more susceptible to injuries. That is where the Niners, they don't have a defensive coordinator. Yeah, their 24th loss plus Lions is Gamache 24. It's Bengals Gamache 24. They're wearing the black jerseys tomorrow, so uh, uh, a win is certainly, I will guarantee a win. But in the manner that they win, blowout, comeback, why not? Just take control, and they creep back in the game, and then they go on like a 5-0 run in the fourth quarter to close it out or something like that. I mean, did they outscore the Lakers in every single quarter in the first game of the year? Fuck the basketball right now. It's fucking gay. Regular season, all these little faggots all warped up about the regular season. It's like they play so many freaking games to begin with. And this is about the Super Bowl. This is about Baby Goat. I wonder where Baby Goat originated from, anyways. Baby Goat, Camacho 73, 7 Super Bowls. And this is the Brady Super Bowl record. 7-3, and now 7 Super Bowls for Brady and 3 for Patrick Mahomes. I mean, Mahomes owns the Niners. Now, are the Niners going to cry about the ref, or are they going to sit here and say, we can't make no excuses? We passed on Patrick Mahomes. This is Kyle Shanahan. It takes some accountability for the Niners. And you Kyle Shanahan. My job! Not Patrick Mahomes! It's perfectly fine. You, you could have had Tom Brady. You should have had Tom Brady. Niners were a dynasty. Chiefs are going to be a dynasty against the Niners right there. Niners were a dynasty in the 80s. Now they get a Super Bowl rematch, and it's the 2000s. It's the Chiefs in the 2000s. Actually, if people are right about Brock Purdy, this guy's going to end the game on interception. He's never going to come back from this ever again. The, the Super Bowl would have to be rigged for the 49ers to win. The Chiefs are in a better conference. They faced stronger quarterbacks. They faced off experienced playoff teams. They faced off against inexperienced. The receivers on the Lions, I should say, were dropping every pass. Every pass. That defense was getting exposed. The only way it's rigged is if the Niners win. Well, they don't even need a scripted game for the Chiefs. I think the Chiefs can win on the skill alone. Because now what was rigged last week was they didn't run the ball 30 times. I'm talking about Baltimore. They throw the ball, so yeah, of course. They rigged it when they didn't run the ball. Well, it was deliberate, too. It was deliberate. But this defense was soft. And the worst defense on third down. Money Mahomes against that combination. That this hidden knowledge is not so hidden now, isn't it? It's only Swift haters and maggots out there and Chiefs haters that are going to go for the Niners. It would have to be rigged for the 49ers to win. Absolutely. It would have to be rigged. I need to go to the season opener. Let's see. Season opener. That was October 24th. Okay, the Lakers won the second and third quarters. Yeah, it's at home. Lakers, they will win the game. Well, yeah, they deserve to have the Super Bowl rigged against them. They didn't sign Tom Brady after they passed Patrick Mahomes. They deserve to have the Super Bowl rigged against them. Yeah, I mean, 49er fans will cry, but they're completely delusional. They should have looked at their coach. You should have signed Tom Brady. You shouldn't have passed on Patrick Mahomes. This is how it's easy for the Chiefs to win the game. It's easy. Again, we're talking about the 41ers. The Winers come out 42. They'll cry about the refs. They'll blame victim, crybaby fan base. Chiefs go 4-2 in the Super Bowl. Brock Purdy falls to 4-2. This is about the 49ers. This is right there, 41. Or it's not even the game. He's already whining and blaming and playing victim. It was rigged for them to beat the Lions last week, so they deserve to lose this week. And I'd say a team with 2 Super Bowls is better than the team without any Super Bowls and without a quarterback. But good luck. Good luck. Look at that inexperienced Lions team. Wow, that's just symbolic. It has to be rigged for the 49ers. The only way they can win is if they rig the game for the 49ers. That's the only way they can beat this Chiefs team. Because this is a dynasty in the making. The Niners defense is going to get exposed. Patrick Mahomes is going to throw 4 touchdowns. He's going to absolutely be lethal on 3rd down. He will take chances. He will blitz, but Patrick Mahomes is going to burn them underneath. Travis Kelce, the wide receivers, run the right routes accordingly because it's about communication where you're going to be. There's nothing soft about beating a punch your mouth Bills and Ravens team. You don't know anything about football. Just stop. Just stop. Just stop. What are you talking about? You're not soft when you go to Baltimore and beat the Ravens. You're pretty soft when you're crying about your team losing the Super Bowl. Be a delusional fan for a few days. Come on. Come on. Oh, yeah. Dak just sucks. You'll never, ever win anything. Dude, you're a crybaby. Are all people in California this soft? Really? You're always crying about the Chiefs. What's your problem? The refs didn't rig that game. I mean, that's a stupid penalty. I mean, the Ravens players are retards for doing this kind of crap when you know that you're up against Patrick Mahomes. These players are stupid with these personal foul calls. It's the right call. It's in the rule book. Sorry. He's just too stupid to not do it against the Dolphins instead of the Chiefs. That's his problem. Yeah, win 28. It's really win 29 technically, but win 28 according to the stat books. Yep. Now, where could Kirk Cousins go? Now, where could Kirk Cousins go? Yeah, it's interesting. Well, Kirk Cousins has a lot of Gamache with San Francisco, but ultimately he was never ever going to go to that team. Yeah, I guess Kirk Cousins going to keep the offseason going. But I mean, Kyle Shanahan's an egomaniac, so he's going to keep Brock Purdy even when he chokes the game. Because, oh, I can win with my guy. He's just an egomaniac. He could have had Tom Brady. It was all lined up for the Niners to win Super Bowl 55, but he's a joke. That's his problem. He can't. He did everything right except the quarterback position. This is what we write storybooks for. They pass. They can't find the golden mine at the quarterback position. This they problem. You had one job, and that's to take Patrick Mahomes. They didn't do it. Who else did they pass up on? Who else? Who else? Okay, I think. Let's see. Josh Allen was 2018. Panthers passed on Patrick Mahomes. They could have had Patrick Mahomes. Chargers did. Jets did. Although Aaron Rodgers against Patrick Mahomes in the playoffs is very interesting, I would go with the Jets upset over the Chiefs next year. New York City, Gematria 15. Hey, I'm just saying, get the popcorn out. Jets against the Chiefs. The Aaron Rodgers beats the defending champions next year. How about that for a script? Brock Purdy's definitely a paid actor. I guarantee you that. Now, Tom Brady is definitely WWE because he's the most good athletic kid from Michigan. This guy's definitely. This is why he has these little skull and bones watches. It's because he knows he was just a character. How about that? Yeah, Jets over. Jets can upset the Chiefs next year in the playoffs. I will go. I will. I will. Did the Jets win the Super Bowl 16-7 over the Baltimore Colts? You know, this is where, when I correctly predict the Super Bowl, this is where I'm going to predict the Chiefs to lose to the Jets next year in the playoffs. Yep, 16-7. Yep. I'm predicting it right now. I'm predicting it. It's going to upset. Aaron Rodgers going to upset Patrick Mahomes in the playoffs next year. Plus, Aaron Rodgers is born December the 3rd. December the 3rd, when you think about it, he'd be 12-3 against the AFC. Hey, that's what I'm going to go with. He's going to upset. He's going to upset. Yeah, he will. The Jets will end a 13-year playoff drought. The Jets won their Super Bowl 16-7. Andy Reid's the defending champion with a 16-7 playoff record. I explained the Joe Montana angle with all of this. Joe Montana had a 16-7 playoff record. Everything with Joe Montana's connection to the repeat, you can see at the end of the video. But 13 years without making the playoffs. New York Jets come out to 13. Aaron Rodgers and the New York Jets are going to upset the Chiefs in the wild card round. Now, the Jets won their Super Bowl over the Baltimore Colts. The Ravens, the team that play in Baltimore today, are going to be the team that's going to win the Super Bowl for this upcoming season. Aaron Rodgers upsets the Chiefs in his first matchup against Patrick Mahomes. Broadway Joe, Aaron Rodgers is going Broadway again. Aaron Rodgers is going to be in the divisional round of the playoffs. Patrick Mahomes' record in the playoffs against AFC competition is going to fall to 12-3. Aaron Rodgers is obviously born on a day of December the 3rd. He's 12-2 right now because Kansas City's under 12 and San Francisco is under 12. This is how I've correctly predicted the Baltimore Ravens to lose against the Chiefs. Also, Las Vegas, Nevada, in abbreviations, is under 22. So he'll be at 12-3 against the AFC when it's all said and done, which is interesting because his first title was over at City of Miami, and City of Miami is come out to around 23. So that's kind of how I look at 12-3 against the AFC. His 15th game against the AFC in the playoffs. New York City is Gematria 15. Now on to the playoff records. Home or away, it doesn't matter. But if it's at Arrowhead, Aaron Rodgers is going to win. We think about Gematria Rodgers. Rodgers Rodgers is going to Las Vegas. He would face off against Aaron Rodgers in playoffs, coming off of the repeat at Las Vegas. More to come on how this connects to the Ravens. The video will be immediately published before the presentation of the Lombardi Trophy to Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce. Yeah, so his 13th playoff win, his 23rd playoff game against a 23-5 life path, uh, Patrick Mahomes, and his wild card record would be 5-2, 7 games, 5 wins. 5-2 beating Kansas City Chiefs in abbreviations. So that's kind of what I see there uh, with the Jets and the Chiefs. Now, let's go to Jets Chiefs record and see what we get. The Chiefs win their 24th playoff game as a franchise. They play in the wild card against the Jets. The Jets is Camacho 24. The Jets is Camacho Travis Kelce's number. This guy's breaking Jerry Rice's records. He wins the scripted Super Bowl. Okay, so the Chiefs, okay, their 20th loss against the Jets, 20. I mean, the Valens Camacho 20, so that just may be leading off of, winning the championship over there. So uh, let's now go to so Andy Reid. He would his 24th playoff game against the Jets. The Jets is Camacho 24, so that would be if he does come back. And now let's go to Patrick Mahomes and his wild card record. I would have to say that that game is going to be played at Arrowhead. Now 15-4 in the playoffs. Isn't 15-4? Isn't that Camacho the Antichrist? The Antichrist is Camacho 154. So that's very interesting. I want to go into the splits of the wild card for Patrick. 2-0 in the wild card round. It could be 3 games and 2 wins, like Camacho Chiefs. Chiefs Camacho 32. Does Broadway have anything to do with this? Or maybe not. Just Camacho Broadway, like Broadway Joe, while Aaron Rodgers is going all Broadway right there. So yeah, Aaron Rodgers, who is he going to lose to next year? The Baltimore Ravens obviously going to be in the title game. Jets Chargers or something, or Jets Bills or something like that, or it's pretty interesting to see what we have here with Aaron Rodgers. But a 24th playoff game is in store for the 24th pick. So I wonder if he even makes it to the conference title game if he loses in the divisional round. He can obviously wait till we get to the divisional round, but the only relevant thing is are the New York fans gonna be screaming Super Bowl? I think they will. I think the 60-7 for this year's Super Bowl is gonna connect to the score of the Jets winning over the Baltimore Colts and the Baltimore Ravens winning next year's Super Bowl. They got on the running back, running back, win a Super Bowl. That'd be his 13th playoff win, and then his 14th playoff loss for the Jets. Probably the end of Aaron Rodgers and Gematria 14. Last AFC Championship at the Steelers. Aaron Rodgers last Super Bowl against the Steelers. But yeah, if you were to make it to the conference title game, he'd fall to 1-5, like Gematria of New York City, like Atlanta. He did lose title games to Tampa and Atlanta. Remember the Atlanta Falcons? Closest he was to making the Super Bowl was against the Seahawks. and Seahawks, that's Gamache 24. And they won the Super Bowl at New York. So I kind of like how the Seahawks connects to Aaron Rodgers in that way. Chiefs win their first repeats in Super Bowl 39, and they defend their title against New York next year. New York is Gamache 39. So they win the first repeats in Super Bowl 39. Their first playoff game is against the Jets. Gamache, the New York Jets is 63. It's also Aaron Rodgers, that's Gamache 63. So Gamache does perfectly line up for these kind of things to occur. What about Andy Reid's overall playoff record? So yeah, he would enter at 26 wins. And how many playoff losses? He'd still be at 16. Well, hey, if we look at Andy Reid, I mean, hey, his eighth playoff loss against number eight. Can you imagine that? Aaron Rodgers is number eight. His 43rd playoff game against a former Packers quarterback. The Packers, Comanche 43. Andy Reid was also coach with the Packers. Yeah, I'm just saying. I mean, even Patrick Mahomes beats the fraud Brock Purdy. That every quarterback that Patrick Mahomes would lose to would be to white quarterbacks. NFL white supremacy. Are they really going to have this golden boy with blue eyes lose to Lamar Jackson? So I can't see him losing against Lamar Jackson next year, but I do see the white supremacist NFL ritual occult having Mahomes instead lose to Aaron Rodgers. The only game between Rodgers and Mahomes, Aaron Rodgers for the victory. How about New York Jets and abbreviations? About to wrap it up. Or I should say New York Jets by itself. Jets is Camacho 54. The Chiefs would win a repeat at Vegas. Vegas 54, Oh, Jets 54, Vegas. Jets is Camacho of 9, and the Chiefs would be coming off of the ninth repeat in the history of the NFL at Vegas. So I do see the first playoff game against the Jets next year. And now, what would be the record for Aaron Rodgers against the Chiefs? Well. You never ever get Packers against Chiefs in the Super Bowl, but hey, uh, we do get a former Packer quarterback against Kansas City. So let's see. His record against Kansas City for Aaron Rodgers, 2-1. It's gonna be 3-1. 4 games, 3 wins. The Packers 43. 4 games, 3 wins. Coming off of the victory at Las Vegas, the Packers for the first repeat since at Jacksonville Super Bowl 39. So he'd be 3-1 against Chiefs at State Farm. That's Camacho 31. And also Packers Camacho 31 when we talk about the Packers. And Aaron Rodgers will be trying to win his first championship since beating the Steelers. It's Steelers. That's 31. So that's how I interpret 3-1 for Aaron Rodgers against the Kansas City Chiefs. How many games later would this be for the Chiefs? Because they lost against them, they could lose again, but just to a different quarterback. It's already scripted for next year. You already know Aaron Rodgers is going to be comeback player of the year next year. Also, another thing to look out for too is going to be the playoff record for Aaron Rodgers ever since he last won the Super Bowl over at Arlington. And now that's another thing too. It's that it's Arlington. That's Gematria of 62, Arlington, Texas. And then Patrick Mahomes is Gematria 62. So yeah, that's gonna be another interesting thing to look out for too. Kansas City Chiefs, their 22nd playoff loss to Aaron Rodgers and the Jets. It's Aaron, that's Gematria 22. And how many games for Kansas City ever since okay, yeah, they beat the Jets that game. Okay. I don't know why I thought the Jets won, but it sure looked like it for a second. I remember that game.